Hey YouTube, Car Guy V8 here with another video, and behind me I have my 1989 Chevrolet C1500, and that of course is on the GMT 400 platform. And I've owned a couple of these trucks. I've owned a 97 with the 4.3 liter V6, and I think you could find it early on my channel, like you'd have to go back many years. And this is my second one. It's an 89 with the 305 and a 5-speed combination, and it is carbureted. And I was just doing some prep work to it, like rebuilding its carburetor, giving it, really allergenic these last few days, but I was also giving it a few extra degrees of timing, and I think I'm prepping it to sell, so I figured now would be a perfect time to review it. And I know you're like, what, sell that? But I picked up that 79 if you've seen one of my previous videos, and that is going to be the new project. In my opinion, you know, 79 of course is way cooler than this, but this is still so much cooler than any of the modern day trucks in my opinion. 5 times cooler, has to be. I've got it sitting on some 15 by 10s and with pretty meaty tires on the back. These are some 275 60s back here, with some 255 60s up front, so you can see they're a little smaller up front, and that just adds to the old school look of the truck in my opinion. It has the work truck front end. Honestly, I'm not sure if this is an actual work truck or if it's just a C1500. I never really looked into that, but one reason why I like the 89 to 94 so much is they are pre-airbag trucks. And that's another reason these years are sought after so much, the 88 to 94. Let me correct myself. And as you see, I've got a tachometer I've put right here. Nothing special. It's got some gauge clusters down here put in by the previous owner. And let me tell you, everything the previous owner touched, goodness, he was not very good at building this truck. I've had to redo so much that he has done. I haven't touched the wiring down there, but as you can see, he was of the mindset of, hey, let's just twist some wires together. I did not do that with the tachometer, I'll tell you that right now. He put some orange trim in here, painted it with spray paint, probably like he did with the truck. But let's take a look at the storage of these trucks. You've just got a little, what do you call that? A glove box. That's the word I was looking for. You got a little cubby here, as Subaru WRX fan or Matt Moran would say. And, you know, not a whole lot of storage in there. You've got little, oh, you don't have pockets in the door. My Ford does. I forget, I don't drive this truck a whole lot. So you've got a nice area behind the seat. I don't know if I actually showed that. Come on, go back forward. There we go. It's got a little area back there. Not a whole lot of storage, but you know, you don't need a whole lot of storage in an old truck like this. You're probably not getting it to, you know, store your luggage for an overnight trip or anything like that. Let's take a look at the engine. Oop. And this would, sometimes the hood doesn't pop all the way up, so you got to learn the old trick. Look at that. As you see, this has got an Edelbrock carburetor on it. A new HEI that I put on, that red HEI back there. New fuel pressure regulator, because the previous owner, he was just letting full fuel pressure from the stock pump go into these carburetors. So what that's like, I don't remember off the top of my head, but it's got to be at least 30 PSI, maybe less since it's a throttle body injected unit that came on these trucks. But you're not supposed to put more than like 5 or 6 PSI through an Edelbrock, and so I've got it set on 4.5. It seems to like that a lot. 4 just seemed to be a little, not quite enough. It's got all new spark plugs in it, new brake booster over there. I've tried to take care of this truck. I've done a lot of stuff on it that it's needed, but the previous owner, not the previous owner, but the one before him, the guy I bought it from really didn't know a whole lot about trucks. He bought it because it was cool, and I guess he got a good deal on it. So he actually drove it for a couple of years before selling it. And the previous owner before that owner. He didn't believe in choke, so this thing does not have a choke set up. You saw I had an electric choke on there, but that's because the carburetor on it was so junky and trashy that I put the 79's carburetor on this one. I took it apart and cleaned it, and it has the electric choke, but I haven't wired it up yet. I don't think I'm going to do that before I sell it, just because it's kind of fun starting, you know, doing the super cold starts like this. Let's see if we can get it to start and idle. I know y'all like stuff like this too, cold starts on an old carbureted truck. Let's see. Come on. Oh, almost. Day, and I've got my cameraman here. He works for free, but I was still gonna fire him if he didn't show up. So, well, I just won't show up next time. You got it pretty much warm down here, pretty much. Good oil pressure. You've got a little tick coming from the exhaust. I don't think it's a misfire because it's hitting. Whenever I started it up, I let it run for about 30 seconds, felt every exhaust tube, and every one's warm. Like, you hear the tick there, but it runs too smooth really to feel like it's a misfire. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. That little tiny bit of hiccup there was the carburetor. But it really, the carburetor's pretty smooth on this old truck. And if you've ever ridden in an old truck, this feels just about like all of them. Little rough.
That sounds and feels way better.
And the thing is, it's anemically slow. Like this thing's, I mean, it's nothing to brag about. It's stupid loud.
Hey, but it's worth bragging about. Yeah. It's way better than last time.
That's fourth gear here at 30 miles an hour. These things are torquey.
Whoa!
Hear that? Little too much fuel. Coolant temperature always stays low. Never had it really go past 190. So it also makes me wonder if maybe the gauge is flawed. I say that because this truck's an old junker. I love it. But if I see something that's working right, I'm like, maybe it doesn't work right. You know what I'm saying?
Is this probably the smoothest this truck has ever run?
That's because yours truly's fixed it up. Oh. All right, let's hope it still runs good after that.
Did I say your suspension's now gonna have some problem?
the 89 C1500. It's junky, it's ratty, it's been spray painted, it's got no exhaust. It's perfect. I hope y'all enjoyed this video. Please leave a like and some comments and subscribe.